Hey guys, welcome back to Grit Factor. I'm Sharon Ndzamela, and on today's show we have entrepreneur and founder of The Making of a Model, Sharon Ndzamela, my friend. Sharon, welcome to the show.
Hi, E. Thank you so much for the honor. I'm so humbled and so excited for this time. Thank you.
Of course. I think it's so important that we share our stories and in some way, hopefully inspire somebody else. And I know you and I have been through a lot together, but you on your own have come a long journey. But I think just to get right into it, maybe just share a bit about who you are, the making of a model, how that came about, and what does it entail?
What an adventure it has been. Just as you're asking that question, I have to go back and be on some, wow, Sharon, you literally have been a model for over 15 years. Yes. And it's been such a learning experience for me. As hard as it was, because I did not have a mentor, the birthing of the making of the model was stemming from that aspect. Okay. That, I remember having a conversation with my agent as I had made the decision to retire and pursue other passions, which was, fashion show production. My agent, Carl, at that time looked at me and said, I'm so proud of you, but can you tell me, you've got such a wealth of experience, what are you going to do with it? And I asked him, what do you mean? And he said, Sharon, there's such an influx of models that are coming in, and they don't really have mentors to walk with them in this journey. What's so interesting, Aaron, about the modeling industry is that you can sign up with a modeling agency today, and then the next day you have to go for an audition. So there's such a great gap as to giving, those models and equipping them with the skills, if I can put it that way, the readiness, the work readiness skills in order to thrive and succeed in the industry. So the making of the model is that comprehensive training mentorship program aimed at the individuals who are aspiring to pursue a career in modeling. So the goal is to equip them with the skills and the training required in order for them to thrive in the industry. That is the main goal. For me, it's literally work readiness. Yes. It is a career. Modeling is a career. And I think people need to really, really understand that you need to have a certain mindset in order to succeed in the industry. That's how we birthed the whole program. It's a 3-month program, and we literally take you from the ground up. And for me, the main goal is that you need to book a TV commercial within those 3 months. Okay.
Is that one of the goals? Yes. One of the targets that you set?
That is the proven test that I've actually done in the past 10 years.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's amazing. And I think it's so important when you say that work readiness, because also just being in the TV industry and, when you're on set and you're dealing with talent, models, or whatever the case may be, sometimes you can see they have no clue of how to show up. Sometimes, timing is an issue, punctuality, just simple things like that. Are they ready? Are they prepared? And I think you can see the huge difference between talent or model, I'll just obviously use that interchangeably, that is ready and that knows what they're doing. And it's such a pleasure to work with people like that, as opposed to, the one that's maybe, struggling, coming late, we're running after you, you don't know your lines, all these things. And so I think that it's so important and pertinent for people to invest in themselves, or models to invest in themselves, and make sure that they have the training and the understanding of what the world is that they're getting into.
Absolutely, Aaron. One of my mentors, you've read the book by Dr. Miles Monroe. He always mentions the aspect of when a purpose of anything is unknown, abuse is inevitable. Yeah. So when one does not know why they're doing what they're doing, it literally shows, it through their preparedness, going for an audition, understanding that, timekeeping is key, communication skills, listening skills. Those are the things that will set you apart. On top of you looking beautiful, I always tell my models that, you know what, do not use that aspect of I'm gorgeous as the, highest factor, because we all are.
Yeah.
The key is what's going to
separate
you.
Absolutely, I love that.
It's those key qualities of professionalism and having a vision, as to why you're doing what you're doing. So for me personally, when I first started modeling, I knew that I wanted it to be an income stream for me to be able to pay my school fees at that time as I was studying at varsity. So that was my driving factor. That was my grit, to learn and understand, because even when I did not have that mentor, I understood that I need to sit and study and learn and watch how others who have gone ahead of me, how they do it. Because in everything, there's a pattern.
Yeah.
All you need to do is just literally sit down, my friend, and learn. You and I understand that in the journey that we've embarked on in life. And that's why I think for me, our friendship has lasted so long, because there's such a great aspect of understanding that one has to have the heart to want to learn, to want to evolve, to want to understand, to want to grow. So those are the qualities I try to embed in each and every aspiring model, to say, listen, use this platform of modeling as one of those doors that will open up for you. So for instance, if one is studying to become a doctor, build up your brand so that when you open up your office, for instance, you already have a followership, you already have clients, my friend. So it takes literally a certain mindset of discipline.
Absolutely.
A disciplined individual who has a goal.
But what are the things that set you apart? And I think that it is so important to know that when you pursuing a certain career or whatever, you have to do the work. You have to put the work in, and discipline is part of that. Discipline, for me, will separate or outshine talent any day. And I always tell my boys that, I say to them, it doesn't matter if you're talented, because when you get to a certain level, everybody's talented. Like you're saying, everybody's beautiful, everybody's talented. What sets you apart? Are you working harder than the boy on your opposing team? Are you working harder than them? What are you doing extra? Are you waking up? Are you eating well? And I mean, they are teenagers now. Yeah. But I think, I just believe that it's never too early to instill things like that in kids, and just so that when they pursue any career, that the mindset is, things don't just fall into my lap. Things don't just magically appear. Yes. I have to do the work, and there's certain principles that I have to apply that are going to get me further. So I really love that about your program and what you are instilling in these models. What do you think about mentorship, and how important is that? I mean, we spoke a little bit about it, but I think just on a deeper level, what is your experience being like with having a mentor, who have been mentors to you? I know you've got some amazing people that have been in the industry that you've looked up to.
You're one of them, Erin.
Speak a bit about that.
I'm an advocate for mentorship. I simply put, one of our mentors, again, Dr. Maxwell, always says, stand on my shoulders, you'll be able to see further. Yeah. They say that if you want to know anyone's success, it's in their stories. So I've got many mentors, friend, living and not living, because they leave their legacies on their books. As I mentioned, it's in their scars. So you either learn from your experience or you learn from someone else's experience. So my choice is to choose to learn from someone else's experiences. Yeah. I truly believe when one wants to discover what their purpose is, and it's so important to understand that there are individuals who have gone ahead. It's so simple for me, my E. If I'm planning to go to Durban, I can sit here and try and figure out how to drive to Durban on my own, or I can use GPS. Yeah. That's mentorship. Have someone tell you or prepare you, if I can put it that way, on what to expect.
That's what mentorship does. It helps you bypass the pitfalls in life.
Unnecessary pitfalls.
Unnecessary
yes,
pitfalls.
Absolutely, because as I mentioned earlier, there are individuals, you want to get into business, there's no point in trying to figure this thing out for yourself. Go and read books.
People have done it before.
There's someone who's done it before. So that as you experience these challenges, you do not fall back and get scared or stop. You know what I mean?
Yes.
For instance, understanding that, when you're starting out in a business, you will experience pitfalls. How do you do that? How do you come above that?
Yeah.
How do you empower yourself if you don't know how to sell a product or market a product? So it's so important. I am learning to learn from others.
That's great.
That's my ethos. That's my principle. I'm an avid learner. How did others do it? So that I can take what I know and improve upon it. I think that's our responsibility as individuals who want to make a difference in whatever that we're trying to do.
Yes.
Yes. I'm a strong advocate for mentors. They walk with you, they guide you, they help you to see things in a different perspective because they have that experience. So
And I also think that mentors don't necessarily have to be in the flesh.
Yes.
Like your mentorship is not necessarily in person. Like I can pick up a book by someone that I, appreciate and that I, admire and aspire to maybe get to the level of success. I can pick up that book, and that book in itself is a mentorship session for me. So I feel like in this day and age, there is no excuse for, I didn't know, it's hard, I can't do this thing because, there's nobody to mentor me in the fashion industry. These people are all in glass houses and we can't reach them and stuff. But you don't have to reach them in person. I think, the principle of being faithful with a little, and you will become ruler over much. So what do you have in your hand right now? Like, what do you have that you can work? What do you have that? No, I can pick up a book. I can go to the bookstore. I can buy a book and I can read on business, or I can develop in fashion. What are the mindsets? What are the perspectives? How do these people think? What got them the success? Because like you say, success is predictable because there's principles that you follow that would then align you and position you for whatever level that it is that you are pursuing next. Absolutely. And so when we follow, the lives of other people and their experiences and then apply it to what we are doing, then there's a guarantee, that there must be some sort of movement, there must be progress. And I believe that when you grow in your mind, you increase your capacity to do more and to receive more.
Absolutely. Look, and what I'm going to say, I've had to really, really learn and put it in my head. It takes humility to learn.
Yep.
It takes humility to want to be taught. Because it's not enough to just say, I'm going to be mentored. You literally are sitting under this person, and you have to be humble enough to take the instructions and apply it, So it really takes you coming out of yourself. And again, it goes back to purpose. When you don't know the reason behind what you're doing, that's where you see people abusing their leadership roles, for instance, or experimenting in certain avenues because the purpose is not clear. For me, the purpose is clear for my modeling training, for the work that I do, for my self-growth plan that I do. I'm very intentional, as you mentioned, because then that's when you understand that this success factor is predictable. As you apply the principles of what? Diligence, the principles of discipline, the principles of that growth plan that you have for yourself. Because when the challenges do come, then you're able to pivot and understand, the principle of a challenge means promotion.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So something as simple as that, just as you mentioned last week when we were having our own meeting, and you're like, can we make challenges a norm?
Yes.
That really, really freed me, Aaron, because I was like, whoa. And you said, just change your mindset, because that is the secret to growth. Challenges, you know. So I'm very excited. It's a great adventure, hey? I look forward to us in the next 20 years, my friend.
Yes.
You know?
I don't even want to say what age I'm going to be.
Honey,
20 years?
We'll be fabulous.
But we will be that age and fabulous.
And wise.
Correct. Yeah, and I think, even if I think about, the current generation, and not to down them in any way, but I always say, like, guys, hard things are not the end of the world. Like, I feel like this generation is so, like, sensitive and so, opposed to anything that's difficult and hard, and everything is like, it's tough. Life is tough. No, life is not tough, but the tough things that are presented to you are opportunities for you to grow. Absolutely. I think it's important for young people to know, and everyone, for young people to know that just change your mindset on what challenges are for you.
Absolutely.
Like, see them in a different light, and you'll see you will embrace the challenge, and you will come out understanding that you were meant to learn something, and you actually have learned something, and you are better for it. When things are hard, it's good. You should actually be excited about the fact that you are going to another level. You're not going to be staying stagnant, because you're going to learn some things that it's going to really just change who you are. So I think maybe just share a bit, Shaz, on how you handle, tough situations or challenges when you experience setbacks. Like, what do you do? Because, it's easy to say and speak about, we should do this, we should do that. But when we're in the situation, it is difficult. But, like, for me, the quicker you can get out of the dip, the better. Yes. So what do you do? Like, what is the things that you do to try and navigate setbacks or challenges?
Sure. Most of the time, I ask myself, what is the lesson behind this? In all of the panicking and the, all of the emotions, Sharon, what's the lesson?
Yeah.
Because it has happened, right? I'm the type of person that knows that there is a solution to whatever. So then that's when I then would look at the options, asking questions, having a friend like you, getting different perspectives on a particular situation is so important. Mm-hmm. So I'm learning that, surrounding yourself with the right individuals who understand what your vision is, does help as well. So I don't isolate myself like I used to before.
That's good.
Because everything else is solvable. So with the tools that I've been equipped all throughout these years that I've applied in understanding that processes happen. In business, you don't just start out and you're a millionaire.
Yeah.
Everything has a process. Yes. Everything has got a reason behind why it is happening, and it is there meant for you to go to the next level. So challenges and setbacks are almost setups. I look at them that way, that this is a setup for the next level of understanding. Failures are no longer so detrimental to me. Learning options away again. An individual who's that man who invented the light bulb. Apparently, he failed over 100,000 times. So it just takes a certain mindset, and it goes back to that level of, do you understand why he did what he did? It's because he saw it in his head. So when he failed, that's when he realized, okay, this is not the way to do it. Yeah. So perspective, a mindset shift is key. And it's really changed my journey and my adventure in looking at life now.
Awesome. Yeah. Love that. Okay, before we go, I want you to just touch on a little bit, or give us an overview of the Model Mindset Training Program. What does that look like? How long is it? Just a little bit more in depth about
Awesome. Sure. This is my baby, hey? So it's a 90-day program. You come in, you have no clue as to what you're doing, what modeling agency you need to approach. That's when we walk with you. I train you to understand what your role is as a model, because modeling agencies also have got a specific requirement as to how they want to take in models. So we take you through that program. So just briefly to cover what we cover, aspects of work readiness, marketing, we bring in the aspect of branding, as well, obviously, as understanding how to take pictures and so on. But the key is that after 90 days, you need to have booked one TV commercial. So the training is very, very intense. And it's happening online. And the training, we do it online. So, yeah.
Can you just let everybody know, let the listeners know where we can find you, where we can find your personal page, your socials, how can they get in touch with you or just follow your journey?
Awesome. I'm on social media. My name is Sharon Ndzamela, Ndzamela. And just send me a DM and then we'll take it from there because there is a filtering process as well. So not everybody qualifies to be mentored by me. So there are certain quality factors that we look for. I have a podcast on Spotify. Awesome. It's called The Making of a Model. So anyone can just listen in. That's when I bring in all of the experts who have gone ahead as well to share their nuggets. And that is the criteria, actually. If you want to be a model, go listen to the podcast because then I have a particular question as to why you want to enter. And that will be the determining factor if I need to walk with you in this training program.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for being on the show, my friend. It's been amazing to have you. You have so much wisdom. You have so much grace and experience and grit, of course. And so thank you for joining us and all the best with everything that you're doing. I know it's going to be absolutely amazing.
Thank you, my friend. Love you so much.
Love you.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to like, subscribe, and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Don't forget to follow me on social media for any updates, behind the scenes content, and so much more. You can find me on Instagram at ErinJaneMiller08, on Facebook as Erin Jane Miller, and on TikTok at Erin Jane Miller.